we're going to do a texting breakdown. I'm just going to go over some texting tips that I think are going to help you guys out, and they're going to make your texting better. All right, so the first text message. So on my profile, I have a most irrational fear. I put cats. I get a lot of responses from that. So just something like playful and silly. A lot of girls, they like that, so they respond. And usually the opener I like to say, if you see my other videos, is I say, let's go on a date. So I'm just direct right away, let's go on a date. She says, I could be up for that. And I say, what's your schedule like? She says she's busy this week. And now I'm going to go on to the next text. And I say, okay, perfect. We'll grab cheesecake next week. And again, just fun, playful text that I send. So you want to have a good mix of being sort of direct, dominant, playful, and also real, like a real conversation, which you'll see in a few minutes. But you want to have a good mix of all these things. And it's usually good to start with being playful. So start with something funny, something playful, and then lead. So I say we'll grab cheesecake. Sounds like the perfect first date. I say it's low pressure. We can sit next to each other instead of across. And then she's like, I was kind of looking forward to 2020 interview. And then I say, after cheesecake, we can sit by the fireplace and you can give me your hard-hitting questions. And I say I have some good questions. And the next text. So let's see about this one. Sounds like a deal. Looking forward to your tough questions. And I say you have a week to prepare. And so I know she has a week before we can get together. So normally if I say let's go on a date, if she can get together that night or the next day, that would be perfect. I would usually say, all right, I'll call you. And then I would just call her right then. But because there's so much time between meeting, I have to get attraction, keep the conversation going, build like a level of comfort. So I have to go through all those stages because it's so far away from the date. And here's a line I like to say. If you wear leopard print, it's cheating since it will distract me. So a lot of times it's like a push-pull. I say leopard print a lot. You can say yoga pants. You can say if you wear, something that you like that a girl wears. If you wear too much jewelry, it might distract me. Something that you find attractive that a girl does. The leopard print is sort of silly. It's just a joke, but it's a tease. So here she says it's not her thing. And then I say I feel better. So a lot of times if I say don't wear leopard print, then she might wear it, or she might wear something, and then it's like a playful, joking back and forth. So it's good to sort of be playful like that. Say, pick something you like about girls and say, all right, don't do this because you're going to distract me, or even with pictures, like say you're texting, be like, I'm working on a project right now, so whatever you do, don't send me any cute pictures. I'll be really distracted. And then what is she going to do? She'll probably send you a picture. All right, so I say I wrote down 17 questions. They're pretty juicy. Said, yeah, I applied you for already doing your homework. And I say so in her profile, she said she liked hockey. So I say I want to play air hockey since you're a hockey fan. And then, of course, whenever a girl has something that she's into and you say sort of that you want to challenge her in it, she's going to say she's competitive. So doing that sets up a nice back and forth, like a competitive, flirty back and forth. And always, you can say it's a nice prize at the end. And she says a good dessert will do. And I'll say I'll get you gelato if you beat me. And then now she's going to transition. So you want to start off playful, fun, joking around. But then a lot of times she's going to say, so what do you do? Or she's going to say, in this case, how long have you been on the app? Now it's going to go into normal conversation. And if you stay here too long, it's going to die out. So you have to be aware that you answer the questions, but you want to get back to being playful and leading. Because if you stick on the sort of asking questions back and forth, then it's going to die out. The attraction is going to go away. It's sort of just going to die. So you always have to be progressing. That's why it's important when you match to go on a date as soon as possible. because you can't text forever because you run out of things to talk about. So you can definitely build attraction. A lot of guys think texting is just a bridge between the number and the date, but you can do a lot with texting. You can build attraction, you can get her comfortable, you can plant all these seeds and all these different topics and things to talk about when you actually meet on the date. So it makes the date way less awkward and way more comfortable for both of you guys. Have you been on a Hinge a few weeks and how many stories? So I usually ask her, if you had any date stories or anything fun, stuff like that. Have stories. I'm tempting cheesecake. I'll bring my sleeping bag and some energy drinks. So she says we're going to be attempting to have cheesecake, air hockey, and gelato all in one evening. And I joke, yeah, I'll bring my sleeping bag with energy drinks. Again, just building comfort, being playful. And I say we'll start with a hug and see where the night takes us, no rules. So again, when you meet in person, you can hug. It already sets up the frame. Like, there's already a playful frame that's set just from the texting, so it makes the date a lot smoother. And here's a lot of girls give the objection, the serial killer. So a lot of girls say that. So usually you handle that with being playful. So really they have objections sometimes about meeting someone offline. And you just say, I said my New Year's resolution was no more serial killing, and it's going pretty well. And so a lot of times girls will have that objection, oh, you're not a serial killer, and then you just have a funny line to say back. It says, you seem witty. Thank you for the encouragement. I'm still talking about serial killing thing. And I say, I look forward to kicking your butt in air hockey. She says, adorable, you think you're going to beat me. And now again, back, so playful, then back to regular conversation. What do you look for? I look for someone that has stamina to stay up till midnight and text me, because at this point it's midnight. We've been texting for a long time, so I'm just joking that she can stay up. And I say, oh, a good kisser. Again, sort of leading the date to a more fun, playful place. I'm just saying she's a good kisser. And she said, any deal breakers? And I said, anyone that's up to a crazy index of 5, but anything over 5 is tough to manage. So, again, joking with her that if she's not too crazy, she says, yeah, she tries to maintain a steady 4 whenever possible. And I say, all right, I'll leave my pepper spray and handcuffs at home. And then again, so here's another thing too. So there's so many things going on in this texting sequence. So just take a little bit from this. Hopefully you can just learn a couple things from here and then use for yourself. But now I'm, again, framing it towards being playful, towards like sexual. So you go back and forth. You have the attraction. You're being comfortable, normal, get to know you conversation. Then you go a little bit towards kind of like playful, more sexual conversation. It can bounce back and forth. When you stick to just question answer, then it gets boring. So I say you have handcuffs, so that's kind of a playful thing. Not something I'll answer quite yet. And I say hopefully they're just pink fluffy, referring to the handcuffs. She says I plead the fifth, and I say I read between the lines. All right, let's see. So now she wants to keep texting. So in this case, it's fine. I can keep texting back and forth because the date isn't going to happen for a week. So it's okay to get to know you through text. So some guys think like, oh, you can't just text. You can't get to know someone on text. You have to get the number and then just get the date right away. But it's not true at all. You can text. You can go back and forth, and it makes the date a lot smoother. Let's see. Any adventures for you? And I say, yeah, I was in Miami. And this is just sort of get to know you type stuff, back and forth, talking about where I've been. Let's see. And I feel like you're strong and will somehow persevere. Yeah, and so just back and forth, normal conversation. And let's see, I'll say the fact that you were able to pursue. I feel like we just need to hug out later. So you give me a couple softballs. So here, I think the next one is I'm just going to ask for a number because it's sort of just, there was the attraction, there was the playfulness, there was a little bit hint of sexual things mixed in there, and getting to know her. So I say, what's your biggest turn on? Then she says confidence, good kisser. And then I say, what's your number? We can get off here. So from here, we just keep texting. And then after this, I would maybe text a little every day, but I would leave an open loop. So I wouldn't close it. So if she asked me a question, I might wait till the next day to respond to keep that thread going until we actually meet up. Because I don't want to, if she asks me a question, I don't want to say, okay, well, I have to go. I don't want to answer it and then say, okay, I have to go. Good night, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Because then I have to start all over to the next day, like, hey, what's up? How's it going? I have to start from scratch again. So normally, if she asks me a question, say it's getting late at night, say we text, she asks me a question, I'll just leave it till the next day or late till the next day to drag it out. Then I would answer the question. So it keeps the entire thread going until we actually meet up, rather than closing it, then having to reopen it again, close it, and then reopen, if that makes sense. So if it's a long time before you meet up, then keep the conversation open. So when she texts for a little while, and then after you sort of understand how it works, you'll stop texting, and then you'll message her a few hours later to keep that thread going. So here it was sort of, it had to be taken to the next level. So at this point, I say, what's your number? We can get off here. And then I would probably call her and then set up a more definite plan for when we can meet up. So that's just some texting tips. You can go back and read the exact text. But it started off as playful, and then into serious conversation, and back to playful. All right, so some good flirting tips in there for you guys. If you have any questions, leave them down below. You can also go to Art of Alpha Coaching on Instagram. DM me your questions about confidence, dating, any questions you have about that. Also, check the link down below. I have a free PDF giveaway down there you can check out. And anything else, let me know down in the comments. I'll see you guys in the next video.